Yeah, it's craziness. That's where we're going. That is a large hill. Okay, this is part of a more than 30-acre cemetery. Is pretty much fully overgrown, and there is no way anytime other than winter to get up in here. All back through there are tiers and tiers of headstones and markers, and I've never been able to get up into this section before because you have to come in winter, and it's completely a jungle. Even now, this is mid-February. After some very biting cold, you can see how green it still is, how much foliage. Okay. You can probably tell the terrain is going to be difficult and treacherous. So maybe going slow. This is on the west side of Atlanta, even in the city limits. William Skillern, I believe, 1929. And there was a picture, a couple of markers in there. This entire hill is terraced. I think I'm walking in it was a pathway at one point. See right there. Walls built all the way up and leveled out. Robert L. Davis, 1904. Maud Smith. See the massive trees falling down. Are likely hundreds, if not thousands, of burials in here that are covered up and washed away with elements and rain. And just because of the terrain, markers, as the tree falls, knocks over a marker, gets covered up, broken pieces. It's even tough to tell where the walking paths would have been. I think I'm on the one here. One left to right. From what I know of this cemetery, oh wow, this keeps going back through there. Well, anyway, what I know of this cemetery is this section was the Jewish section. Let's get back over there. Take a moment to get there. Family plot there. The best way around. Don't earn. So I'm guessing that it's upside down at the moment, but I can see more way back in there and up the hill. I have to point them out. We'll try to get there. E. Barnett, 1847 to 1912. And Mahaley P., wife of E. Barnett, 1844 to 1906. Well, that has been here for 120 years. And I can see more terraces down in there. I don't see any more markers. But if these, all the way up here, started way down there at the bottom of the hill. These are all the way up here and more back in there. I only assumed this was full at one point. Still is, just lost. Samuel O. Cleveland, Gilead, 1907. Yeah, a lot more back up in there. Coming up on this, you can see all these tulips, grave flowers. You see those sitting around, there's probably a grave somewhere. Very close. W.M. Robertson, 1850, 1970. And Elizabeth Robinson, 1856 to 1924. Masonic symbols. I'll get to that in a moment. A few more over here I want to look at. If you ever start to do this, you have to be very careful. That entire area right there is sunken in, and the ground is very soft. I'm sure this whole thing is covered with graves. Dennis Horace M. 1934. Alice A. 1916. There's a path. I'm sure at one time that was on the edge of the cemetery, coming up through here, and the wall blocking the hill there. When this was active. See the marker base right there, but for that one. Whoa. I don't know if you can see that so well. Gooden, 1935 and 1954. Oh, excuse me. Pollen is bad in the south right now. And I'm in a virtual forest. So it may be that the only thing that has survived so far are these walled off sections. Anything that wasn't in a walled off section is just gone now. You can see that's fallen in. Tough to see because of the light. It's a cloudy day, and this has completely fallen in. Longshore, Edward A. 1914, and Martha Julia 1937. This is where it begins to get treacherous a little bit. This is Phineas Genter, maybe Center. Tough to read, tough to tell. 1909. Wow, this is much larger than I expected back in here. I'm constantly seeing things like this, other than the trash dump tires. It is completely sunken in. Johnny Lee Parker. And Johnny L. Parker. That's the father. Yeah, that's a pretty wide trail through there. And it goes up around the hill. It comes from that direction. It said during the spring, summer, fall, it's impossible to get up here. Maybe you can see this tree here. The size of that thing. It's been cut up at some point. That's where we're going. I don't really have any doubt that this entire area was covered in markers at one time. Bell G. Henry Sr., 1942. And Elizabeth is her birth date, no death date. She would have been 37 when he died. I mean, she may have gotten married, remarried, and buried with her second husband. Towns. There are lots of these that I'm not recording just because there are so many. And I'm just seeing the corners of. Bell Z. Patil, 1913. That is Francis Bartow Patillo. And another there. George Bailey Calhoun, 1952. This is the top of the hill, and I can see more going down the back side here. Guilford Wellborn, 1917. Makes me wonder, how long has it been since anyone has seen that marker? Whenever I'm out like this in places, I wonder that. Got this interesting one. Ivy, R.S. Parker. A lot of names here. Ivy, Blankenship, one Thomas. So maybe all in this area. There's I think a wall right along there. I can see some stonework. No real individual headstones, as these are. It's tough to tell. I am seeing a lot more plane overhead. I am seeing a lot more markers and stones half buried than probably showing up on the video. There's another path right there. Winds all the way around. That was actually the path I was on a few minutes ago. I did a detour around the big tree. Maybe cresting the hill. I haven't gone into that area yet. We'll get there. Or I'll get there and you'll go along with me. If you're watching, I can see markers up back in there. It's an enclosure. No markers in it. I'm going 30 or 40 yards between enclosures like that. And all I can assume is in all of these blank places, there are unmarked graves. Following the trail. It says Thomas on the base. See, that one is broken off from the enclosures. Feels like there's two enclosures there. You see the white marble enclosure and then just the rock enclosure. Huh. Kitchens. Rosa Berta Clower, 1942. That's a sizable monument in the middle of an abandoned cemetery in the woods.